it was shocking how instead of staying somebody who is damaging, I became somebody who's not building up. And that in itself for me is out of this world. Life in Mighty Garden is challenging. It is rough. Especially when most of your life is spent you see those dead bodies and everything like that, and you wonder if there is a future, you wonder if there's a life outside of this. You wonder where the road leads the next. But at that time I need a role model. And I saw one guy who was a gunman give my first gun. I'm like, yo, this guy really care about me. But it wasn't so. It was just him having more agenda. And as I grow older, I see this guy firing shots at people trying to kill people. And I say I want to do that too. And I realize that living in a community like this, everybody respect people like that. Everybody, all the girls flock guys like that. And I say, I want to be somebody like him. At 6th grade, when I finished primary school, I said to myself, school is not significant. So I stopped. And I said to myself that if I continue school, I have 3 younger siblings. And I think they need the opportunity more than I. So I stopped going to school and I started working. And you pass going to school, or you pass going somewhere, at the age 12, going to 11, there's a body. And you step over that and you move on with your normal life because that's the norm. And age 12, I questioned that. At age 12, I went by my bedside and I said, God, if you're real, Jesus, if you're there, I don't know how to come to you. So I want you to lead me to you. Because I just don't know how to come to you. So if you're there, lead me to you. And I got up, and chain of events happened. Like at least 6 dead bodies for the week. And I remember an incident over by the playfield where if there's one guy in a gang and he's playing football, they're not gonna come and try to single out that guy and say, yo, you step out in the open, let me fire shot after you. They just open fire shot. Everybody was just running. Everybody started scattering because the fire shot after one guy. And I was running and I fell over on a steel that injured me severely. That I had to spend 1 week in a life machine. And in and out of the hospital for about 2 years. We were collecting me back for that 2 years, and it was the roughest and the hardest time of my life. Living here, they don't hesitate to tease you about something like that. We're in a cholesterol back. So you get it every day. But what hit me the most is that when I got up out of that 7 days and a life machine, and I thought everybody, all my friends would have been here. I only saw my mother. Even through the process, I only saw my mother. But I know I felt something pulling me towards a different direction. One Sunday morning, I got up and I said, I wanted to go to church because I was painting. But I didn't take a bath or a shower, I just dry my clothes. And I head to church. And at that time, something happened. I felt appreciated, I felt love because I was seeing life differently. Bear in mind when you come home back and you tell everybody that you consider being a Christian, it's not going to be easy. Because at that time, I've never seen a married couple. I never know what a married couple look like. I only know about one Christian living in the community. And I'm going to be the second one. I don't know what life look like on that aspect. Live in a community where everybody lives for themselves. So when I come home and I tell my friends that I'm consider being a Christian, they start giving me days, weeks. Yeah, they laugh me to scorn for sure. My mother was like, alright, you see how the month go and then you change your mind. But as time progressed, she began to realize that I actually take it seriously. I met some people in 2004 who talked about youth with a mission. And I'm like, what's that? And they were like, well, it's a discipleship training school. I'm like, Okay, what it's about? It's about you go in a classroom, you learn more about God and more about people and other things, and then in return you go out into the fields and you will try to implement what you have learned. I'm like, okay. When I heard how much money I had to pay, I'm like, no way. I don't know. I don't see it possible. How I'm gonna get so much money to pay. And years passed by. I felt like God was calling me to there. I felt like God was saying He wanted me to go there, but I kept running. I kept running until I think in 2008, I said, okay, I'm gonna finally do this. I put on a concert to raise money to go, but it never benefited at all. It was like just money to pay back people who was musician, people who cooked, and in the end I left with like $0. And I'm like, what was the purpose of it in the beginning? But I went, I packed my bags, and I start my journey. I got somebody pick me up from home to carry me there. In the car getting there, the person asked me how much money I have. And I said, at that time somebody gave me about $10,000. And I spent 3 out of it. And I said, I have 7,000. And the person said, you must be crazy. And I said, no, I'm not. That's what I have. And the person said to me, but I can't take you through the first day. So I said, but I want to do this. But I felt like God is calling me to it. The person said, alright. Bear in mind I need to travel, but I don't have a passport. Because, as I said, living in my God, those things are not significant. You never felt like a traveling going anywhere. When the place you're going, when it comes out to New Year's, that's the only time you go to Africa, you come home back. You feel like you go somewhere. And you say, yeah, I went out. And you're excited about going out to Africa. And I begin to start meeting new people, different culture, American, Canadians, Swiss. Coming up to paying the school fee, I'm like, it's $1,000. And at that time, I don't have any money. And somebody comes to me and says, you don't have any money? One of the young ladies. So I said, I'm heading home. And everybody was like, no, you're not going home. And once somebody came up to me and said, guess what, your $1,000 has been paid. So I said, by who, God? So yeah. When I got to England, it was even harder to believe. How come people can have so much, but yet still never appreciate it? But in the same instance, I went to Africa and I realized how can people have so little, but yet appreciate who they are. I realized that most of our potentials and gifts are locked up in the cemetery, and they're in the cemetery and they're in the prisons. And that's what I don't want. I realized that I was called to give, not more so to receive. I was called to give time. If I have money, I was called to give it. I was called to give of myself to something that's greater than myself. And that's the call of Jesus Christ. How can a 6th grade dropout, primary school dropout, can have any influence on anybody? I tell you why. Because it's not about you as an individual, it's about Christ in you. Who's willing to go beyond yourself to help others. And I was willing to die with my music still locked up inside of me. I wasn't willing to die without singing my song. I'm working in Fusion, and every day I see a little kid or a child, I feel like it's my responsibility to make this child understand that they're loved, they're appreciated, and they're cared for. That there's no way I can have this love and then keep it for myself. If something is as this good as how we say about it, then it's not just to say it, it's to act it out. And I'm willing to not just speak the content, but let the process speak for itself. Yeah, my name is Patrick Dillon, and I am the movement.